Welcome, viewers. Today we reveal the ultimate shadow war, where unseen spies break massive fortress walls.
Iran boasts one of the most formidable security networks on the entire planet today. Yet their highly classified nuclear facilities keep suffering from devastating, sudden blasts. Top nuclear scientists are silenced in broad daylight, while secret atomic archives simply vanish. This is the covert work of Israel's Mossad. How do they breach the vault without a single border shot? Tehran is a vast, sprawling metropolis, heavily guarded by the elite Revolutionary Guards. Underground bunkers hide their ambitious nuclear programs beneath thick, massive layers of concrete. These high-value sites are guarded by anti-aircraft defenses and constant surveillance grids. Yet the Islamic Republic keeps losing crucial secret assets from within its own guarded borders. How can an impenetrable, massive fortress lose half a ton of top-secret atomic archives? Agents bypassed dozens of alarms to extract classified vaults from a truly nondescript warehouse. They moved silently through the dark streets, evading armed patrols and cameras with absolute ease. The sheer audacity of this stunning overnight heist left global intelligence communities shocked. It was a glaring, profound exposure of vulnerabilities deep inside the Iranian capital. According to declassified intelligence reports, the silent operation took less than 7 hours. No weapons were fired, and the operatives completely vanished before sunrise, without a single trace. Meanwhile, the nation's most brilliant nuclear scientists met unexpected ends in broad daylight. Men driving to work in ordinary heavy traffic were suddenly targeted by precision strikes. Magnetic devices were quickly attached to their moving vehicles by passing motorcyclists. In mere seconds, the targeted cars were destroyed, forever silencing the brilliant minds inside them. The psychological impact of these daytime shadow strikes was absolutely, truly devastating. Panic quickly began to spread among the highest ranks of the nation's internal security forces. No scientist felt completely safe, even while driving through the heavily monitored urban center. The unseen attackers demonstrated an impossible level of precise and real-time intelligence. This level of surgical precision required a vast network of highly trained, covert local assets. They knew the exact daily routines, vehicle models, and strict security details of their targets. Such deep infiltration suggested that the silent enemy was already living among the people. Intense paranoia gripped the leadership as they desperately searched for the invisible traitors. The once proud and untouchable atomic program was now hemorrhaging crucial vital knowledge daily. But the Iranian government simply could not afford to show any weakness to its citizens. To maintain their strong aura of absolute control, authorities began a massive public cover-up. When a centrifuge facility suddenly suffered a blast, official state media blamed a gas leak. Senior officials stood before the cameras, sweating profusely, to deny any foreign sabotage. They firmly insisted that industrial accidents and poor maintenance caused the devastating blasts. Firefighters and elite guards patrolled the smoking ruins, masking the truth firmly behind closed doors. The tense government repeatedly labeled the destroyed machinery as minor structural failures. Yet, sharp international observers quickly noted the strategic importance of the damaged sites. These were not random factories. They were the heavily fortified heart of the grand nuclear project. The sheer, staggering frequency of these catastrophic accidents mathematically defied all logic. How could the most highly secure and technologically advanced bunkers suffer endless mishaps? As more grand facilities burned to the ground, the official narrative rapidly fell to pieces.
Clear satellite imagery revealed massive craters where underground testing labs once operated.
The grand illusion of an impenetrable security perimeter was shattered for the world to see. The tense regime was fighting a ghost, striking blindly at an enemy they could not even identify. Imagine being a leader, watching your most guarded secrets vanish into thin air every single night. Would you admit your vulnerability? Or would you construct elaborate, massive lies to save your face? They proudly chose to lie, but the silent war continued to escalate with terrifying momentum. The covert operations were not just about sheer destruction. They were a psychological weapon. The dark goal was to breed mistrust and extreme paranoia within the Iranian security ranks. Guards quickly began to suspect their own colleagues, leading to a toxic environment of deep fear. Every minor glitch in a computer system was now viewed as a potential hostile cyber attack. The invisible enemy had successfully turned the nation's defense mechanisms right against itself. No vast amount of concrete or steel could stop a threat that bypassed physical borders entirely. The Shadow War had evolved past traditional espionage into a highly dangerous digital game. The world was witnessing a masterclass in modern, asymmetrical warfare tactics and strategy. Israel's Mossad had completely rewritten the global playbook for covert, grand sabotage missions. They clearly proved that a nation's greatest weakness often lies within its very own human elements. By exploiting internal dissatisfaction, they built an invisible army inside the country. Disillusioned citizens became the perfect weapon, striking the proud regime where it hurt the most. The era of border skirmishes was truly over. The new battlefield was hidden in plain sight. The true brilliance of this dark campaign lay in its seamless blend of human and cyber intelligence. Mossad agents identified and recruited local technicians who were angry with the strict regime.
We won't let that happen. Just the manifest.
These internal assets were the crucial key to bypassing the heavy external fortifications. A terrified worker could easily smuggle a tiny USB drive into a highly restricted zone. This seemingly harmless device carried the notorious Stuxnet computer worm directly into the servers. Once infected, the malicious code silently manipulated the delicate spinning centrifuges. It ordered the machines to spin at self-destructive speeds, while displaying perfectly normal readouts. Iranian engineers watched their expensive equipment tear itself apart without any prior warning. The cyber weapon caused months of catastrophic delays without firing a single kinetic weapon. However, not all operations were digital. Some required direct, physical, kinetic action. Mossad operators utilized incredibly advanced technologies to evade all security cameras. They bypassed biometric scanners and facial recognition software with highly specialized tools. The most shocking escalation involved an artificial intelligence remote-controlled system. A top scientist was targeted by a remote-controlled defense system mounted on a pickup truck. The weapon was operated via satellite by a secret agent sitting thousands of miles away. Advanced cameras used facial recognition to positively identify the high-value target. The AI system automatically compensated for the vehicle's speed and the changing wind conditions. In a terrifying display of modern technology, the scientist was vanquished with surgical accuracy. The autonomous weapon then triggered a self-destruct sequence to erase all physical evidence. Iranian investigators found only a burning truck and scattered, unidentifiable metal parts. This unprecedented method of striking sent massive, fearful shockwaves through the entire government. How do you protect a VIP from a phantom system that does not even exist in the physical realm? Traditional bodyguards and armored convoys were completely useless against this dark technology. The rules of engagement had fundamentally shifted into a terrifying new science fiction era. Mossad's command centers operated with cold, calculated efficiency from distant, hidden safe rooms. Operators stared at glowing blue monitors, deciding tragic fates with a single, simple keystroke. They manipulated assets on the ground like pawns on a massive, highly deadly tactical chessboard. The sheer logistical nightmare of smuggling heavy equipment into the isolated country was solved. Parts were slowly brought in piece by piece, assembled secretly by local sleeper cell networks. Every operation was a masterfully orchestrated symphony of patience and dark precision. The hidden enemy was forced to constantly look over their shoulders, trusting absolutely no one. The constant fear of sudden shadow strikes began to paralyze the nation's nuclear development. Scientists hesitated to join the program, deeply fearing they would become the next silent targets. The underground laboratories, once symbols of national pride, felt like concrete, fatal traps. The Shadow War proved that absolute security is a myth in the modern age of technology. All these precise strikes culminated in what Israeli intelligence calls the Octopus Doctrine. Instead of battling proxies abroad, they quickly decided to strike the head of the beast directly. By bringing the Shadow War to Tehran, they forced the regime to spend billions on internal defense. Senior officials sat in their dark bunkers, realizing that their thick walls offered no real safety. Their most guarded facilities had become playgrounds for invisible and highly dangerous foes. Deep, consuming paranoia quickly reached the absolute highest ranks of the Iranian government. Powerful leaders felt constantly hunted inside their very own deeply fortified bunkers. Israeli intelligence clearly showed that geographic distance means absolutely nothing in this war. A precise weapon, controlled by advanced AI via satellite, is truly, deeply terrifying. The helpless target had absolutely no time to react before the final, sudden strike hit him. This represents the ultimate tragic fusion of human intelligence and machine precision. The brutal Shadow War has permanently changed the global rules of modern espionage forever. Massive, thick concrete walls cannot keep out invisible digital viruses and cyber weapons. The terrified nation was forced to severely delay its controversial atomic ambitions. When internal betrayal is so common, you simply cannot trust the person standing next to you. This brutal cat-and-mouse game continues to unfold with increasingly devastating consequences. This brutal cat-and-mouse game continues to unfold with increasingly devastating consequences.
Will advanced machine learning entirely dominate the unknown future of all covert operations? Yet even the most brilliant algorithms still rely on highly unpredictable human assets. When fighting in dark underground mazes, primal human survival instinct finally takes over. In the end, we must ask if raw firepower or pure deceptive intellect will win the Shadow War. For now, this terrifying invisible conflict rages on in absolute, profoundly deep silence. The Octopus Doctrine proved that smart tech and human betrayal can bypass any concrete bunker. Do you truly think artificial intelligence will replace human spies in covert ops? Leave a comment. If you enjoyed this deep dive into shadow warfare, please like, share, and subscribe for more secrets.